Hello everyone, welcome back to another video from Winter Forest. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe for similar videos. Today's topic will focus on EX 2020 new features. And here is the feature I like to discuss today. And the new EX 2020 features are now finalized. This means we now have a complete idea of the changes happening in EX 2020, the new and improved specification of JavaScript. So let's see what those changes are. First, let's talk about big integer. I currently have this set up in case it have some feature the browser haven't really implemented, but the latest Chrome supports already supported. If not, I will push this code into my GitHub so you could get this and play around with these features. Once this started, then I have inputted a page because today we are going to write JavaScript. And big int, one of the most anticipated features in JavaScript, is finalized here. It actually allows developers to have a much greater integer representation in the JS code for data process. So for example, in the old number, if you have the old value, have the number, what is this one? And the older one, it is the biggest integer. If you add 1, it doesn't change the value, still return the biggest integer. Add again, it don't change. And now in EX 2020, it allowed you add beyond that value. So let me say new big integer. I just get the biggest integer, paint the small n on the afterwards. Then I'm going to plus new big int. What do you see? It still add 1 to it, add 1 again, add 1 again. So that is the first feature, the biggest integer allowed you to do. Let's move to next feature, dynamic input. Dynamic input JavaScript gives you the option to import JavaScript file dynamic as model in your application natively. Because previously you be able to do it, but you need a Webpack and a Bubble. But now, since they are being enabled to EX 2020, and from now on, or latest one, the broad version will implement this dynamic input. How you to use it? Here I have an example. For example, you have the math. It's called have the add a function over there. You could add more over there. And in here in the index, I could dynamic input here. For instance, if I have a sync function, I could dynamic. So this is my math model. This is my model. I could have dynamic input in here. This is my math. And in here, what I could do, I could just console.log. My model currently has the add function 4 and 5. It equal to 9. Once I have this, if I just run this function, I expect in the browser console log 9. Let's see. it is. Or you could refresh it. Just ignore the error because I was writing something. So they are real-time compass. They have something haven't finished input. They already just console log the error. And now then let's move on to another feature. Knowledge correlation. What is knowledge correlation? Knowledge correlation adds the ability to truly check a knowledge value instead of false value. What do you mean knowledge and false value? Because in JavaScript we all know number 0, undefined, null, false, not a null, they all false. But what happens if you identify the false and this nullable? Now you'll be able to do it. So if I say false, false, or something, you see, it returned is false instead of something. But now you could identify it is null or something. It go back to the something. So they identify the nullable and the something. Also same for the undefined. It go into the something. So if you check it is undefined, then it is, if it is false, it will actually go to the false. How about the not a number? It go into the not a number, instead go to the something true. The next feature is called optionally chaining. Optional chaining syntax allows you access deeply listed object property without worrying if the property is existing or not. If it exists, great. If it is not, then undefined will return. And this optional chaining actually come from the back-end developer. So I know C# before. The C# already have this function. Now JavaScript also built this in. So what does this mean? So you, for example, you have a person. You retrieve a promise back, have a person, you have the profile. Then you have a first name. Then have a last name. So, but when you going to access in previous, you're going to check a person that has this one, then you access this one. If a person has this property, you access. Now it pretty much simple. So you could simple just say person dot profile. You actually person dot. You go into the person dot profile, have a first name. Then you print the first name. You don't need to check if this, for example, you have another person. Person, go back. You have don't have a person, instead have a person 1. Then you have a person 1. Let me do just if you go into then have a person 1 dot profile, you're going to access this person 9 dot first name. This one non-existent, so it just return undefined. You don't need to check if this person has first name. So, but if you say person first name, then we will return the name. This is not only working on object property, but also on function call and array. Promise all settled. The promise all settled method access an array of promise and only resolves when all of them are settled, either resolved or rejected. This was not available natively before. So if I have a list of promise, So you have a bunch of poems. Then you could use poems.resolver. You could use poems.oset. This will be, once all of the poems are settled, then go into return. So this is my poems chain, my poems.theme. You can access the result. This result is the all of the poems. So in here you could see all of the settled. One is fulfilled, so it means resolved. The second one is rejected, and the reason is no. And also you could see the status rejected. The reason is have error throat. Now talk about the string match all. Match all is a new method added to string prototype which is related to regular expression. This returns an iterator which returns all matched groups one after another. Let's look up the quick example. Here is your regular pattern. Now you have a string. Once you have a string, you could, since the string.match all will return array, then you could get it, split it to your result. So you get an array of this result. Once you console log, you see you have a 2. You get this compare with the previous string.match. This gives you more information. This is the group ID, and this is the first string founded. This gives you an input, and the index started to find. The second index started to find. This is the input. Group this is a very significant feature for EX 2020. Why? Because if you write the app, sometimes you in the load the global object it is a group, but if in Windows in the browser the global objects is window. So this guarantee you point to just the group. You don't need to worry about it is the window or it is the global or it is self for the web work. So the easy example you could test in here. You say global this. So in here, the global this actually pointed to Windows this. If this code running in the load, then the global this it is pointed to the globe. So you don't need to identify it is the window, the global objects is the window, or it is the global or something else like a self for the web works. And another feature is called a module namespace export. Let's look up the example. In here, so for example, in here in the math I exposed add, but actually if I have the util in here, I have a bunch of math function and I import from different where, and I have the utils.js. Yeah, so I could input, sorry, already right in here. So I could input the everything from the math. I also could input something else, everything, and in here I'll it actually just simplify the expose. So I simplify everything, just expose everything out under this util. So this is a namespace expose. And however, in the old way, you actually normally do like this one. This is the old traditional way, but now it actually simplifies. Once you input, you just simply just expose this under this namespace. So in the index, I could just simply use it because you under the namespace. So what under which namespace? Let me see the util. You expose under this namespace. So I could simply just import this one and from your util. And in this time, I could what the method to just have add function. So in here, I could simply console.log the util dot have the add method. A plus A 16. Yeah, expect the console will log 16. Let me see. Just clear out this out. The add is not defined. Let me see. You input the utils from the input. You need the utils. Now just the so it is 16. Be aware here you need the relative path then go into your file. Another one is where define the for in order. Developer documentation. Just let's look up. We could just in here. So I define an object. Now you could for loop this one. They're actually in order 1, 2, 3. And hope you find this helpful. And for this code, I will push it into my GitHub so you could play around with it. Thank you for watching.